Well, well, well. Guess who it is? Diesel's back. Join me, subscribe, but get the word out. Diesel's back, and he ain't going nowhere. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope we're all well. Hope we're all good. What do you think of the backdrop? Nice? Yeah? Is it all right? Like it? I couldn't get any smaller, so I quite like it, to be fair. I do like it. Let me know your thoughts. If you don't like it, I'll take it off. Right. Let's talk about, well, the elephant in the room, and there's certainly a few of those at the moment. I'm just going to wait a little bit and obviously let everybody come in, all the people who are late, sneaking in at the back there. Scary thing, isn't it? I'm about to go live and I see 2 or 3 people in the chat and I start shitting myself. I think, oh, my God, where is everyone? Sunday night. It's freezing outside. Is it Storm Isha or whatever it's called coming tonight? So you shouldn't be out. It's too cold, it's too windy, and it's going to rain tonight. So listen, do yourselves a favour, people. Stay in and watch good old Diesel, eh? Hey, watch someone who speaks a bit of facts, right? Spits facts, yeah? Spits facts. And that's exactly what I do. And blimey, have we got a lot to get through tonight. Now, there are some things I'm going to say that are going to make some people uncomfortable, but you know what? Sod it. You know, sick and tired of this world now where you're cancelled and certain things you want to say, but you feel you can't say. And if you do say, there's a likelihood you're going to get in trouble for it. And, you know, most of the streams I do are, you know, they YouTube demonetize it because they've probably watched it and taken snippets of what I've said. You know, and they probably do deem it controversial, right? So therefore, obviously, they demonetize it, which is cool. You know, I haven't changed, so I'll never stop. I'm always going to speak the truth and speak my truth and obviously speak up for what I believe in, right? And I think, you know, anyone who's got a platform, and let me just say this to you guys, right? Obviously, we're going to talk about the main topic tonight. Yes, I'm going to touch on Arsenal. Yes, we won. Yes, the flat track bullies are back. The flat track bullies who beat the mighty Crystal Palace over there 5-0. Brilliant. Wow, what a team. Crystal Palace. We beat them 5-0. How did we do it, people? Impossible. A team like that, they're magic. My God. But yep, flat track bullies Arsenal. That's what I call them. That's what they're known as. And that is what they bloody well are. So there you go. But we are going to touch on that. But you know what? For me, I had to speak to you guys tonight about this. I had to come on and do a stream because I really do want to touch on the racism. I want to touch on the couple of events that have happened over the last 24 hours. I want to talk about Mike Mignan. I believe that's his name. The AC Milan goalkeeper. I want to talk about that incident. There was also another incident yesterday, Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry. A few people in the crowd doing the old monkey chants. Is it to Casey Palmer? I believe the player's name was. We're in 2024. You know, what's today? The 21st of January, 2024. And we're still dealing with this. We're still talking about it. We're still experiencing it. You know, we're still seeing it. We're still, you know, and it for a man of color like myself, I've got to talk about it. I'm sorry, I have to. Do you know what? It's funny, right? It's funny. I literally 2 minutes, if that, 2 minutes after I advertised this stream, I lost probably 2 or 3 subscribers. Yeah. And what makes me laugh is they probably saw what the show was going to be about tonight and they thought, oh, here we go, playing the race card, here we go, all right. And then obviously they fucked off, basically. I'm sorry to swear. That's fine. Because if that's the case, then I don't really want you guys as subscribers anyway. Go and watch someone else. Yeah. we have to talk about these things, guys. I'm sorry, we have to, because it keeps on going on. Yeah, and you know, silence for me is criminal. But look, before I do, obviously there's a lot of you guys in now. We've got 25 people in the chat. Hopefully, as the show goes on, there's going to be more creeping in. Let me do what I normally do before we touch on tonight, and yeah, let me obviously big up the real superstars of the chat like I always do. So firstly, we've got Kabir Udden in the chat. There he is. Big up yourself, mate. We've got Ronald McDonald, my hero when I was 6, 7, 8 years of age. Probably still now. Unveiling Realities. Anyone who doesn't know, this is Wazza, a.k.a. Warren. Big up yourself, Warren. Up you well, mate. Warren, let me know as well but regarding the medal in McCann, yeah? See if we can do that this week. For anyone who doesn't know, Warren comes on my channel every now and again, and he does the old conspiracy theories, you know, those sort of streams, aliens sort of stuff, you know. The next one he's doing is he's going to do a whole stream about Madeleine McCann, and the man's going to come with facts and loads of research, right? So yeah, honestly, watch that one and yeah, plug into that and give him some support, because that is still to this day a very hot topic at the moment. However, I have my own views on that. Warren knows exactly what my views are on that because we've discussed that at length. But obviously, yeah, make sure you're watching. I'll give you guys plenty of time when I advertise it. So yeah, just make sure obviously you tune into that if you don't mind, please. Right, we've got Mindful Haven in the chat. You legend. So are you, mate. Hope you're well, brother. Look, Mindful Haven says it as well. Yep, Sheffield Wednesday versus Coventry yesterday. Yeah, we're going to touch on that. We've got David Dundas as well, my old mate, one of the original OGs. Big up yourself, David. Hope you're well, mate. Davidoff, come on. We've got Lenny Moon in the chat, cousin of Alfie. Big up yourself, Lenny. Hope you're well, mate. We've got Static in the chat. Big up Static, my brother. Pepsi Pack is here, my guy. Carnage, my guy. Early Doors, my guy. Yeah, you're all my guys. We've got the lovely man, top bloke this is as well, by the way, Tony Neri. Big up yourself, Tone. You was in my last stream, and I don't think I shouted you out, and I felt really bad for that, so I do apologise. Tone, I hope you're well, mate. We've got Stephen Baverstock in the chat as well. Big up yourself. We've got DJ Crane as well. Come on. Look at the love in here. Absolutely brilliant. We've got Nat Leslie as well, the one and only. Come on, my G. Dread. We've got Liam R97 in the chat as well. We've got Footy Chats. Come on. Danny Cook. Danny, you was another one who was in my chat, because sometimes I watch it back and I look at certain comments and I don't think I bigged you up and I shouted you out. I'm so sorry, mate. My Bamiyang out friend. Me and Danny Cook were the only two who wanted to Bamiyang out. Early doors, by the way, in the early days. When everyone thought me and you was a couple of nutters. And look how that went full circle, eh? Yeah. See, Dan, I don't forget things like that, Danny. Come on, my guy. Right, who else we got? Mark PJF85 as well. Big up yourself, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. We've got Lucas Hood as well. Big up yourself, Lucas. Hope you're good, mate. We've got Grant McRoberts, another top bloke. Hope you're well, Grant. And I believe that is it. Lovely. Right, see, I haven't left anyone out, see, because Diesel doesn't do that, does he? Don't do them things. No, I don't. Right, look. I think we've all, unless you've been living under a rock, right? We've all seen seen the scenes from yesterday's game, AC Milan against Udinese, right? And just for anyone who hasn't seen it or is unaware of what happens, basically, AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Mignan, who's obviously black, was getting all forms of racial abuse from a certain section of the crowd behind him, behind his goal. And just for clarity, guys, this wasn't just a one-off. Yeah, this happened 2 or 3 times, from what I hear, throughout the game. And I think when it happened the 3rd time, he obviously, and rightly so as well, said to himself, "No, do you know what? Sod this. I ain't got to put up with this." And then you see him walking off, and eventually he walked down the tunnel, walked off. Right. My only criticism for that, everyone's different. Of course, me personally, I would encourage any black player, forget all this 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You hear it once, go, walk. Yeah. And do you know what? This is something I feel really strongly about, because, and I'm going to say some things tonight that I won't be able to take back. But to be honest, I don't really want to take back. Oh, hang on, I've got a Tinder like. Hang on 2 seconds. Natasha. 42. How far? 35 miles away. So things we do for these women, honestly. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I'm gonna obviously say some things tonight, right? This people do you know what, the amount of obviously conversations I have, not just with friends of mine, it could be, people who I've worked with, or over the years. And I used to live in a predominantly BNP area, right? Parts of East London are very, very strong BNP. And so obviously, when you're in work and you walk in an office, 2 seconds before you walk in, you hear a little comment, and then you walk in, and obviously people are so wary, and or you could be around someone and that you could just tell they're being very carefully selective with their wording because they're around me. Whereas I know they'd be saying something else if they was around someone else and not me, right? I'm not stupid. Like I said to you guys last week, I'm not a guy who's literally, just come off the boat. Please believe me, I'm not. I'm a very intelligent man, right? And the conversation we always have is always a case of, when it comes to racism, has it got better? Has it improved? Has it gone now? Is it gone? Is it disappeared? Is it a thing of the past? No, and no, right? In my honest opinion, and so a lot of people agree with this, but there's also a hell of a lot of people who disagree with this. When people ask me about racism, Diesel, what's your thoughts on racism? Where do you think it's gone? Do you think it's got better? Right? My whole thing is this. I don't think racism has got any better, if I'm honest with you. The difference is, today, racism is more hidden. It's hidden, right? I think back then, bad as it was, in some ways, yes, we can say it's got better. I mean, me being a man of color, I can walk down the road right now with a white girl holding hands, and no one would really bat an eyelid. In years past, obviously, back in the day, if you were going to do that, just be prepared. Make sure you got a pair of trainers on, because the likelihood is you're going to have to do a lot of running, my friend, right? And and I don't mean a bit of comical effect there, but let's have it right. That's pretty much how it was back then in a lot of areas, right? There's certain things you just couldn't do, even if you wanted to. And I think when I see, my view is, when I say hidden, I think at least back then you sort of knew who was who. You knew what was what. You knew who to avoid. You knew who was your true friend. You knew who the wrong ones were, so to speak. And yet today, what I see at the moment and what I see around me sometimes, it's a case of, it's very much a case of, they're very nice to you to your face, but the minute your back is turned, you're this, you're that, you're the N-word, you're the whatever, right? Let's have it right, people. Racism comes in all forms. It's not just white on black, it's black on white. It comes in all forms, right? Let's get that right. Now, the one thing I love about being mixed race is the fact that I'm half black, half white. Got a black dad, got a white mum. Yeah. I see it from both sides. I'm not all over one. I'm not all over that side. I am smack bang in the middle. Yeah. And this is the thing, right? So when I say things like, it's more hidden now, for me, it truly is. Yeah. But what annoys me and what disgusts me, and this is why I have to do a stream tonight, just to express what I'm feeling, because I'm at home and I'm watching these scenes from that game yesterday, and it's just boiling my absolute blood. Yeah. Right. When we talk about racism in football, yeah, it's always been there. Right. I saw a tweet yesterday from Ian Wright, right, about, fair play to, Mike for walking off, fair play to his teammates for walking off. Righty. Let me just start with you, my friend. Yeah. It kills me sometimes, guys, and I generally do mean this. It does kill me sometimes criticizing Ian Wright, because he is my all-time favorite Arsenal player. He is my favorite Arsenal player of all time. I've always stated that on this stream. Yeah. Right. He was one of the main reasons why I loved Arsenal, why I fell in love with him, because of him. Yeah. No one tops Ian Wright for me, my personal opinion. But that was as a player, right, as a pundit, let's talk facts for a minute. Not every single player walked off with him yesterday. A few did. Many didn't, right? There were other black players on that pitch who stayed on that pitch. They didn't walk off. Yeah. That for me is disgusting. This is where I'm going to lose my rag, right, guys? This is where I'm going to it winds me up. Yeah. Because I did a stream on it before, about a year ago, right, where I was touched on this. I think it was around BLM or whatever it was. Yeah. And do you know what? Rest in peace. And also a massive, massive big up to Chig, right? Because Chig did a stream around Black Lives Matter. And I always said to Chig, every time I spoke to him, I always say to him, do you know what? I love your channel, but the stream, my favorite stream of all time of yours is that one you did about race. Yeah, because we all know, Chig was very articulate, very intelligent. He could get his points across in such a professional way. I loved it, right? That stream he did about racism was absolutely bang on the money. Bang on, right? And do you know what I want to say as well? Sorry to say this, but I'm sorry. I'm going to come out with it. See all these other people who have got YouTube channels, right? Whether it's the people I don't like or the people I do like, and I've been on their channels, they've been on mine or whatever. This is a message for all of you lot now. All of you guys. I don't care whether I fall out with you guys or not, right? At the end of the day, you've all got your own platforms. A lot of yours are bigger than this, than what I've got, right? Talk about this. Don't ignore it, right? Because you're white or or whatever, yeah? Talk about it, because this is big. Do what I'm doing tonight. I challenge every single one of you lot who have got channels, right? In the next couple of days, talk about this, raise awareness, yeah? Because it's disgusting, yeah? The only time you will get a lot of these Arsenal channels talking about anything remotely like what I'm doing now is when, I don't know, Aubameyang got a banana skin thrown at him or whatever, yeah? Or Alex Iwobi getting racial abuse, more or less every single Arsenal game, right? Because it involves an Arsenal player, that's when you're most likely to get a lot of these other Arsenal channels raising the issue of racism in football or racism in general. Yeah? But see what happened yesterday? Who cares? It's not Arsenal, is it? Not Arsenal. It's in another country. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with us. Nah. See, for me, ignorance. It's ignorance. Yeah? I had a quick look earlier on, guys, before I went live, just to see if anyone else is doing this sort of stuff, if anyone else is doing a stream talking about what happened yesterday, Bear in mind, it was 2 incidents yesterday, not one, right? And let's be honest here, guys. Let's be honest here, right? This is happening week in, week out. There's so many people I know who go games on a regular. Tell me they still hear these comments in the stands. This is a lot more common than what you think. Those 2 incidents yesterday are 2 incidents in isolation, right? This thing, the monkey chants, all that sort of stuff, the black this, the wog, whatever, all these names, this stuff happens week in, week out, not just at Arsenal, right? At more or less every football match, right? Every football match, whether it's the Premier League, whether it's lower league, yeah, Sunday league, whatever. This goes on. It goes on, yeah? And it's got to be stamped out. Now, I can sit here and say it's got to be stamped out. Do I think it will ever be stamped out? No, I don't. I don't mean to be negative, but how can you tell me we are now in 2024 and we're still having to see scenes like we did yesterday with the monkey chants? How? And I'll tell you how, because none of these clubs take it seriously. This zero tolerance against racism, zero tolerance for me should mean exactly what it is. Zero tolerance, right? Zero tolerance. I'm not talking about a £20,000 fine to a football club. My God, that is like 5 pence in my pocket. Yeah, I can afford to lose that, no problem. I could pay that all day long, not an issue, right? Is you honestly telling me that is an acceptable form of punishment, right? No, right? There is racism everywhere we look around us. Not just me, you guys as well. It exists everywhere, yeah? Right? Look at Chig. Look at the amount of racial abuse he got, yeah? Because he had a bit of help, right, from those wrongers over there on that big channel, yeah? Everywhere. Everyone gets it. I saw an article earlier on about Ivan Toney. This time, look, no, November last year. Sorry, no, tell a lie. This time last 2022. It was when Brentford played us. Yeah, and he got a lot of racist abuse. Do you remember those three players? Who was it? Sancho, Rashford, and Bukayo Saka. All three missed the penalties in the Euros. What happened straight after? Racist abuse. My God, when these boys are on form, we love them, don't we? But when they do something like miss a penalty, my God, talk about a thin line between love and hate. My God. And did these players get it? And they got it good and proper. Yeah, remember that? All these things, guys. And do you know what? Anybody who tells me that there is no racial prejudice in the media, in the UK media, I'm telling you now, you are absolutely having a laugh at yourselves, because there is, right? I said it a couple of times on this stream. Yeah, you remember. I'll never forget that story. Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden. Yeah? Raheem Sterling buys his mum this big, gorgeous mansion, right? Little flash black boy. Look, thinks he's made it now. What's he doing? Oh, thinks he's all that. Yeah, guy got abused. Phil Foden does the exact same thing for his parents. Ah, what a lovely boy. What a lovely man. To do that for your parents. Oh my God. What a beautiful child you are. Bless you. You were raised right. Yeah. You see the correlation, guys. You see the difference. That narrative, right? That narrative was from the media. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. You need to read between the lines. Yeah. I've got no respect, if I'm honest with you, for the likes of Ian Wright, for the likes of John Barnes. Yeah. All these black players, ex-black players, who didn't say boo to a goose when they were playing. But now they've retired and they're pundits. Now you can't shut them up. Now they can talk all day long. Yeah, I went through that. Yeah, this, yeah. If it were me, I'd have done this, I'd have done that. Well, hang on a minute, my friend. Hang on a minute. This was more rife in your day. I know you guys got it. And what did you do? You kept your head down. You know why? Because all you were concerned with was that money. Yeah? Right? That's why I don't mess with people like Raheem Sterling. And because no, see how many times Raheem Sterling has been abused racially playing for England, and the boy still stays on the pitch. Still stays on the pitch. I've got no respect for you. And do you know what? As whether you want to call it, as a black man, as a man of color, whatever, when I see people like that, players like that, who have got no backbone, no bottle, yeah, it is an absolute disrespect to their culture. It is an absolute disrespect to their color. It is an absolute disrespect to their creed. It is an absolute disrespect to their ancestors, yeah, for you to play in and amongst people with the monkey chants and the banana throwing and the this and the that, and you haven't got the bottle to walk off that pitch. You stay on that pitch. Why? Protecting your money. You're rich enough. Do you know what? Do you know the thing is, right? The thing that if I could get some of these black players who go through it on a regular, if I could get some of these black players in a room, right? I'd love to say to them, and I don't understand why surely they must have half decent people around him to say, do you know what? If you walk off, you're a hero. You are a hero. The love you will get. Forget the money. Listen, people, don't be fooled. These are multimillionaires. They're rich enough. they're not going to miss that extra dough, right? But you've got a chance to make you've got a chance to make a stand and walk off, because then and only then we will see who's really with you. Now, do you know what? Right? Going back to this incident yesterday with Mike Mignon, right, the goalkeeper, right? Not all of his teammates walked off with him. For me, personally, that is where I have issue. That is where I have issue. Listen, guys, I can only put myself in that position, right? And the kind of guy I am, it's very easy to have people around you who tell you all the time that they're with you and, you know, I'm your mate, I'm with you, you know, if you need help, I'm there, all that rubbish, right? There's words, there's saying and there's doing, you know, there's the old school saying, right? There's saying and there's doing, you know, actions speak louder than words. Now, when those actions hit, you'd be very surprised. All these people around you before who were saying that I'm with you and you know, I'm your mate and I'm your friend and, you know, like, you know, we're brothers and all that rubbish, right? When stuff like this happens, you see very, very quickly who actually meant those words and who were just faking it. Yeah. Right. Because for me, when I see an incident like that with a black player, my first thing, I'm looking around the pitch to see what those other black players are doing. Yeah. Because when something like that happens, the football match pales into insignificance for me, right? This is now far bigger than a football match. This is race. This is racism at its worst. Yeah. And how none of those other black players on that pitch followed Mike down the tunnel, I find that absolutely disgusting. I do. I find it disgusting and I find it shameful. Yeah. And I think some of these players should be called out. I really do. I think they should be called out. There were, as I said to you guys earlier on, and I will come to the chats. I promise you guys. I promise you. Let me just get this off my chest. Yeah. Right. There. We all know, obviously, with what happened with Vinicius at Real Madrid. You know, and that's probably the biggest example or the biggest case. Yeah, because this guy was getting it on a regular. Right, and everyone's got a cut-off point, and you know it got to a point where he thought, I've had enough, and this is why. And I remember I did a stream on this, guys, several months ago. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Right, I don't, you know, I say what I mean. Yeah, this is why I will always have the utmost respect for Carlo Ancelotti, because I'll tell you something now. That manager stood by Vinicius hard, right? Even like to a point where they pundits wanted to dismiss that, brush the incident under the carpet and focus on the game, talk about what happened in the game. And Carlo pulled them up and said, nah, forget the game. I don't want to talk about the game. I want to talk about this. Carlo, I'll tell you something. As a man, as a manager, I love you. But as a man and a man of honor, respect. Absolute respect. Yeah. Respect. And I'll tell you something. You see, I always say to you guys, I always say about that term of, this is what bugs me about the Arsenal, yeah? That weak, soft, fragile, like, you know, mentality. You know, I'm one for, you know, brothers together in the trenches, you know, all for one for all. You know, we win together, we lose together. If we're going to die, we die together. We're going to go down fighting, we go down fighting together. That togetherness, team, family, bond, unit, yeah? That, all those beautiful, beautiful words, that is what I'm into. That is what I'm into, right? So when I don't see that, when I see a teammate, yeah, being racially abused, surely the first thought is, do you know what? I don't care what's happened. I don't care what the result is. I'm following my mate. I'm following my teammate. I'm with him, yeah, because if I was at Mike Mignon, my thing is, if you're with me, then be with me. Don't just say it, show me. Yeah? All this rubbish. If you're with me, be with me. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. Yeah? I saw about 3 or 4 players, if that, follow him. All the rest of them stayed out on the pitch. Why? Yeah? Let me go back to England. Yeah? There was this rule. Do you remember this, guys? You guys in the chat, right? I can't remember what the term was. It was like the free incident rule or whatever. If it happens once, we stop the game for 5 minutes and then we carry on. If it happens for a second time, we stop the game again for 10 minutes. If it happens a third time, we call the game off. So you're telling me, right? You're telling me black players have got to be subject to racial insults and slurs 3 times before we even talk about calling the game off. So when they get racially abused once, cool. Let's just stop the game for 5 minutes. Yeah? A black player's got to get abused again for the second time. Game gets stopped 5-10 minutes. It's got to take 3 times. 3 times a black player has to enter the pitch, right? And hear the monkey chants and get the bananas thrown at them and this, that, the other. Is that you're honestly telling me that 3 times? I think it's disgusting. And I'll tell you something now. And when I said this before my stream, I know a few people thought I was very controversial for saying this, but you know what? I couldn't give a toss, right? My honest opinion around that time, yeah. Do you know what would make a bigger statement for me? When Raheem Sterling and Saka and all these players play for England, if they get racially abused and they will, how about the white players walk off? Because I'll tell you something now. That would, for me, that would make a massive, massive statement of intent. How about the white players walk off? Yeah, because that and only that will show the world, the rest of the world, we are together. Couldn't give a toss if I'm white, he's black, he's purple, he's orange, he's yellow, he's this, he's that, he's that. Irrelevant. We're all one. We're a team. We're together. You can't break us. Yeah? That is what I would have loved to have seen. But no. Yeah? No. Gareth Southgate, who I don't respect one little bit anyway, I think he's absolutely useless. But you know what? As a manager, these conversations must be discussed before games, before tournaments or whatever, because we all know it's rife, especially within international football, right? We know it goes on. So surely the PR team, the commercial team, whoever it is, surely should be sitting the players down and saying, look, there's a chance that this might happen later on tonight. If it does, yeah, blah, 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 right? Surely they are having those sort of conversations. So why doesn't Gareth Southgate, as a manager, say, do you know what? If it happens, we all go. We all go. Fuck the game. Yeah? We all go. Right? The captain, Harry Kane, why doesn't he say it? If you're really together, if you're so I just don't understand. I'm sorry, guys, it baffles me. I just don't understand how, if you're a team and you see 2 or 3 of your teammates getting racially abused, surely you'd feel it as well, right? Because you're not just teammates, you're actual mates. Like, you're meant to be friends and together and you bond and you go away to tournaments together. You know, you room together. You know, you all share rooms in hotels. I mean, surely you're all meant to be like that, right? Like that. But no, I haven't seen it. And that is why, guys, before I go to the chats right now, this is why I say, and I said it on my thumbnail for this stream, don't be fooled. Racism still exists. And it always will. Kills me to say that. But if we haven't eradicated it in 2024, what's the chances we ever will? Some people are just like that. Some people just won't have it. I know some people. You get the oldest line going in. I can't be racist. Like, my cousin's black. My postman's black. The milkman's black. You know, I like him. He's all right. Yeah, I'm not racist. Yeah, you're not racist until your daughter brings home a black guy. or your son brings home a black girl, yeah, then we'll see what you really are. Because trust me, people, I know a lot of people who are like that. Yeah. I like you guys, but at arm's length. Yeah. Let me tell you now, people, you guys know this anyway, because I say this all the time. I have a very, very intelligent chat room, right? Let me tell you something now. There are good and bad in everyone. Every color, every creed, every race, every religion, every this, every that. You get good and bad in everything. Everyone. Yeah? Everyone. And my thing has always been, I'm a massive believer in that saying, live and let live, right? But unfortunately, look, we talk about racism. I speak strongly about it. I've experienced it, guys. I won't lie to you. Not so much now. In my younger days, when I was going out raving all the time, I experienced it because in my day, not that I'm proper old, but when I used to sort of go out to the clubs and all that, even then, it was still a little bit, yeah. And you got a lot of comments and you got a lot of looks, and obviously, it's horrible. It's horrible because people judge you by how you look. They haven't taken the chance to get to know you or whatever. They see how you look and they put you in that box, and that is it. Yeah. And there are a lot of people out there like that. There are a lot of disgustingly downright racist people. I'm reading so many incidents at the moment where there's racism is rife in primary schools. I'm not even talking about secondary schools. I'm talking about primary schools. Kids of 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of that. But where are these kids getting it from? They're getting it from their parents because their parents are scumbags. And as we all know, in this day and age, scumbags are having kids, who are then having kids, who are then having kids, who are then having kids, right? And this is just how it is, guys. This is just how it is. It's life. Yeah. What annoys me, if I'm totally honest with you, is I can sit here. I don't like having these conversations, really, because it winds me up. It upsets me, angers me, every emotion you can think of, right? Because we still have to talk in this day and age. We still have to talk about this. Yeah, I have a 10-year-old son. Yeah, and at some point I need to have that chat with him. How mad is that? Should this happen, son? Should this occur, son? Should you find yourself in this situation, son? Yeah, and I'm one of many. Right? I'm a good parent. I'm a very good parent, and I think most decent parents, you want to raise your kids to, see beyond color and, see what's right and wrong and take people for what they are rather than what they look like. But we know as well that there are some absolutely scumbag parents out there who force their children to follow their beliefs, and when you're a child, you only know what you've been brought up with, right? You don't know anything else. So obviously the likelihood is when you're older, you adopt that same mentality. And then obviously when you have kids, and it's a cycle and it goes on and on and on and on, right? It's disgusting. John Barnes, for me, John Barnes is one where, and I mentioned him earlier on because John Barnes is one who really does make my blood boil, right? John Barnes was one of the, as a player, class. Absolutely brilliant. But John Barnes probably got among the most, right, in the, back in his day of playing. The amount of stuff I've read on John Barnes when, in terms of, the race, the racial slurs he used to get. He got so many of the monkey chants. I know he had bananas thrown at him on a regular basis and all this sort of stuff. And yet, as a player, he said nothing. And you know what? For me, there's part of me that thinks, look, I can sit here as a man and say, if it were me, I'd come out all guns blazing. I would say, I would. It's forget money. For me, if you're a proper man, this is just my way of thinking. If you're a proper man, your pride and your dignity should come before money, full stop. Right? Should come before money. Yeah, rather than sell your soul. some people just don't think like that. Some don't, right? And that's up to them. That's on them. Yeah. But then when I see these ex-players who aren't playing anymore, they're retired, and I see them as pundits, and all of a sudden they find their tongue, and now they speak out. Now they talk out about what they went through now, and they pass judgment on the likes of a Raheem Sterling or whoever. Oh yeah, if that was me, I'd have done this. If that was me, I'd have done that. And that, for me, guys, is where I draw the line. That for me is where I'm like, hang on a minute. You went through worse than Raheem. Yeah? But still, you stayed silent. Why? Why didn't you open your mouth, John? Why didn't you open your mouth and like say something? Why not? But now you can. Yeah? Do you guys remember when Liam Neeson had a female friend who I believe I'm sure she was raped by a black man, I believe. And Liam Neeson went out that night when he found out. He went out the actual night, and tried to find a black man to beat up. Yeah? And he come out and he said that. Don't believe me, guys, look it up. Right? He said that. I was just so angry. I was so angry. I just went out that night and I tried to find a black guy to beat up and right? I regret it now and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. But at the time, all this rubbish, right? And John Barnes actually come out and come out in defense of Liam Neeson for saying that. John Barnes came out in defense of Liam Neeson saying that, right? For me, imagine if he'd actually found a black guy that night. Imagine if he did and he battered him. Oh, that's all right, Liam. We understand you was angry. That's all right, mate. Don't do it again, though, Liam. Don't do it again. Listen. When I say people like John Barnes, you are an absolute wrong, and John. And do you know what? There's the likelihood is you will never ever watch this stream. I'll tell you something. I seriously hope there is someone out there who watches this, who knows you, and points you in this direction. Because I'll tell you something now. From me, from Diesel to you, you are what I like to call an absolute wrong-un. Yeah, right, bottler. Yeah, you absolutely weak man. You are an absolute disgrace. Sticking up for Liam Neeson, right? Like what, for saying that? For saying that? Nah. And for all that you went through, and you did not say boo to a goose when you were playing, but now you're a pundit and you're bankrupt. Yeah? Let's not forget that. Now he's bankrupt. What? You want to come out and say this and say that and say this and say that? No, it's too late, my friend. Too late. Right? You should have took a stand when it happened. Yeah? Because, and this is what annoys me, guys. We're not talking about a little Sunday League footballer here. John Barnes was big back in the day. Big. That man had a profile where he could, right? He had that profile to walk off. He could have done it. John Barnes is one of the best players. Of course he could have. Raheem Sterling's another one. Yeah? This is what I'm saying. People of that profile, he's an England international. Or what he was at the time. Why didn't he walk off? How can you as a black man, how can you just put your head down and ignore what's being said around you and carry on? Who are you trying to protect? What, are you afraid you're going to upset someone? Right? This is what I don't understand about these players. I know there is this myth going that the average Premier League player or the average football player is thick as shit, right? But sometimes I think to myself, is it true? Are they really? Yeah? Are they really? Because I would like to think that even if they are 2 sandwiches short of a picnic, right? Even if they are, surely they come from a black family. You're telling me there is not one person in that black family of theirs, right, to pull them aside and say, listen, you know what you should have done? Should have bloody walked off. Yeah? Walked off. And yes, when I talk about ancestors and I talk about, yeah, guys, I'm dead serious, right, when I say that. Because that is a slap in the face. Yeah? Ancestors who fought slavery back in the days. If we want to take it there, I don't want to get too deep, guys, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah? They fought back. It was obviously back then. They fought for our rights, if you like, so that we didn't have to have the same fight that we're fighting today. And look, it happens. There are people who are caught on camera. We all know. You do anything now in a stadium, right? The likelihood is you will get picked up by cameras. There are hundreds of cameras in every single stadium, and yet people still do it. They still do it. And why do they do it? Because they know the repercussions aren't severe enough. They're not. And this is what annoys me, right? This is what annoys me. Yeah? You see it all the time, even with the police. Caught on camera doing this, doing that. And I think to myself, do you know what? If they know if they're doing this and they're on camera, what are they doing when the camera's off? I dread to think, right? It's all happening around us, guys, and yet nothing strong enough is being taken, right? This bending the knee, what is that doing? What difference has that made? Yeah, seriously, what difference has it made? Do you know why the Spanish League FA had to take Vinicius seriously? Because it's Vinicius. Because he's probably their biggest player at the moment. Yeah? Right? You think they would take this action if it was a little boy, if it was a little Sunday League player or national conference? No, this is Vinicius. When he stands up and talks, people need to bloody listen because he's got the profile and he's got the gravitas. Yeah? Right? This is what I'm saying. David Dundas, my guy, big up yourself, mate. Thank you very much for this, all right? It pays the bills, as I said. Mate, I would always be in your corner. Big up to you, Big D. David, thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate that. First super chat of the night, and closely followed by my guy, Randy, as well. My brother, my hobby, my guy, my role model, Mr. Tripod, Randy Viper. Come on. Solidarity amongst brothers. My guy's there. Come on. See? That's my mentality, people. Yeah? Me and you against the world. Nothing can break us. Yeah? That's what I've been brought up on, and that is what I shall bring my kids up on, and that is it. Yeah, that is what everyone should have. That is the mindset everyone should have. You look after your own, whether it's family or your immediate friends. You look after your own. Yeah, and I can sit on here and say, "Oh, that's old school." No, it is, but it shouldn't be. That should be still instilled into everyone today, but it's not. Right? It's not. You're my friend when I need you for something. Yeah. Other than that, we're not really friends. I know so many people who say like they're friends of mine. Yet if we have an argument or if I do something that pisses them off, you don't see him. So I'm your friend as long as we. No, friends should be able to argue, whatever. It doesn't matter. Why does friendship always have to be on certain like conditions? I don't get it. You're either a friend or you're not. You're either with me or you're not. Right? And I'll tell you something now. The gift I would say I've got, and this is the one thing, I don't mean to be arrogant, guys. Because I'm not, right? I'm not arrogant. But the one thing that I love about me, and the one thing I love about me is the one thing that a lot of people hate about me, yeah? Is the fact that, you know what? I will look after anyone. If you're in my circle, you are my friend, you're part of my family, whatever. Yeah, I will die for you. I will take a bullet for you. Yeah? The minute you do me wrong, I will cut you. Right? And when I say I've got that gift, that ability, I've got the ability to do that. I could know someone for 15, 20, 25 years, probably friends from school, whatever. And if they do me a wrong one or they do something to hurt me, I'm not the kind of man who's into second chances, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. I'm not. That's not me. Right? Because for me, in my thing, if you really are a true friend, you'd never have done that anyway. So because you have done that, you are not a friend. You're no longer a friend of mine. I need to cut you out the circle. See you later. There you go. Right? And I call that a gift because it's something that so many people need to have and they don't. Yeah? Whether it's for fear of, I'll let him off. I've known him so long, or I've known her for... No, it doesn't matter. The length of time you've known someone does not matter. Yeah? Because my whole thing is, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect others to respect you? Yeah, I've always said that. And people need to let that sink in. If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect others to? Right? And yes, you need to love yourself. And that thing of, he loves himself. He thinks he's all that. No, I tell you something. Get to love yourself. It's good to love yourself. Why not? Love yourself. Because I guarantee you now, you won't struggle to walk out the door and find somebody who's going to put you down. Yeah? Love yourself. And when you do love yourself, you will respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you will have a certain set of standards. Yeah? And people around you, they either fall in line with them and have the same standards as you, or if they don't, see you later, jog on, there you go, there's the door, out, goodbye. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I guarantee you now, people, you have that, you adopt that mentality, you will not go wrong. I promise you, you will not go wrong. People won't like it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they know they can't mess with you. It's as simple as that. They can't mess with you. Right? All these things that I'm talking about tonight, it's all linked in some way. It's all linked. When I say about the respectfulness, right? Well, it's again, I liken it back to a lot of these black players that I see, you know, on the pitch, you know, racist abuse every single game, right? Especially at international level. And how you play through it, I don't know. But my thing is, whether you've got the mentality to play through it or not, my argument today is, why should you? This is the thing. This is where a lot of people lose me, right? They lose Diesel, right? When I say this, it's not a case of whether they can play through it or not. My question is, why should they? Because whether they can play through it or not is irrelevant. Why should they? Why? I get there's abuse at football games, you know, whatever, you know, prick, you're a C-U-N-T, your mum's your sister's your missus is ugly, or whatever. I mean, that's just life, you know, that's cool, you know, that happens, right? But I'm on about this, I'm on about racial prejudice, yeah? When it gets to that, for me, that's next level. That's next level, right? And for me, it is a case of, why should any black player have to play through that? And I'll tell you why. I personally believe they're pressured. They are pressured to play on. And that is where I will bite back at the likes of the Raheem Sterlings, even Saka, just because he's Arsenal player. I don't think I'm excusing him. Yeah? Right? First and foremost, you are a black man. You should be proud of what you are. You should be proud of your color, proud of where you come from. And if you've got a certain section of fans, people in the stadium, right, doing the old monkey chants, throwing a banana skin at you, right? Whatever it is, then do you know what? As a black man, it is your right. I don't care what Gareth Southgate says or whoever or the FA. No, you walk. Walk. You walk. Because what are they going to do? Are they going to ban you from playing for England? Yeah, do you honestly think they're going to do that? I know they're going to want to do it. They can't do it. Can you imagine the backlash they would get? We're banning him. We're banning Raheem Sterling. For example, right, let's just stick on Raheem. We're going to ban Raheem Sterling, right? He can't play for England again. Why? Because he walked off because he was subjected to racial abuse. He walked off the pitch. Therefore, we have to ban him. He can't play for the team again. Can you imagine the backlash the FA would get? It's never going to happen, is it? You're having a laugh. There is no way that will ever happen. But I'll tell you what will happen, people. You know what will happen? Any black player, doesn't matter who he is, any black player who actually has the bottle to walk off, right, in an England game, if they're getting racially abused, my God, you will become a martyr overnight and you will be a hero. A hero. And for me, for Diesel, that means more. That overrides everything. That overrides money. That overrides the England caps you get. That overrides everything. If they want to ban me, they can ban me. I did what was right for me, yeah? Because I ain't no one's sap, yeah? I walked off. I ain't no performing monkey. I walked off, yeah? And rightly so. And do you know what? When you walk off, look around and see who else walks with you. Because anyone who doesn't walk with you, they are not with you. They are not with you, right? They are not your friend. They are not your teammate. They are not with you. This Mike Mignon, he put a tweet out yesterday and he said, you know, big up and much appreciated to a lot of the players who have supported me both privately and publicly. That's the one thing I don't agree with there. I know, look, he says what he says. But Mike, I'm sorry, my friend. All this privately supported. Privately. If you're with me, you're with me. So if you're really with me, why don't you support me publicly then? That would be my question. Why not? Yeah? I've said it to you guys before, and I said this, even with, for example, the likes of Claude, rest in peace to Claude, right? Yeah? When he got, when his 8-year allegiance with AFTV come to an end, right? And the way they treated him. And so many people privately messaging me, young Terence, you know, oh, I can't believe the way they treated him. He don't need them. He made them. I can't believe the way they treated him, Diesel. No. Do you know what? Fair play for looking after him, Diesel. Fair play, Terence. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, no, AFTV. They're out of order the way they treated him. Honestly, I swear to God, these are some of the messages, right, that we were getting. And yet, fast forward a few months, these same people are on that channel. So this is what I'm saying to you guys. When all this about, oh, yeah, I was with Claude. I love Claude. You weren't there, was you? You wasn't with him. You wasn't with him because I've got the messages. You wasn't with him. Yeah? You may have backed him privately, but you didn't back him publicly. Why? Because it would have scuppered your chance to get onto that platform. That's why. That's why. So that overexceeded any love or friendship you had for this man. Yeah? Am I wrong or am I right, guys? I mean, come on. Let's be honest here. That's how I look at it. I don't look. Listen, for me, it's very much black and white here. It's very much black and white with a lot of what I'm saying. This isn't hard to get your head around. This isn't rocket science. It's not. Yeah? These are basics. These are things that people should know already. And yet, a lot of people don't. Absolutely mad. Right? I'm going to go to the chat now because I've spoken enough. Once again, David Dundas and Randy Viper, thank you very much for your super chats, mate. Guys, I love you both very dearly, mate. I promise you. Love you. We've got Don Carlo in the chat as well. Big up yourself, Don Carlo. Come on. Right, where should I start? Liam R97, big up yourself, mate. Nice background. Come on. I like it. I like it. Right, let's find a good comment. Static Diesel, respect to Manyan. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. Manyan for taking action. Do you know what? Many don't. So the ones who do, I have got so much time for, Static. Trust me. Tony Neri, make sure to like and subscribe, everyone, please. Listen, I've said a lot tonight and a lot of it's been controversial. If you don't like it, then it is what it is. You know, I've got a platform and I'm going to use it for good. And I said this earlier on and I'm going to say it again, just in case anyone misses it. And I'm saying this to every single person I know who also has a channel on YouTube, an Arsenal channel. Some of you I like, some of you I can't stand. Irrelevant. Anyhow, none of you lot do a stream or talk about this. Yeah, then as far as I'm concerned, you're wrong-uns, because for me, we need to raise awareness. It's disgusting, yeah. And what I get is a lot of people I know. Well, it don't really affect. I'm a white guy. It don't really affect me, does it? And it's like, but that's the wrong. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Honestly, like, Joe, I'm going to shut up before I carry on. Tayyip Hussein, big up yourself, Tayyip. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Facts as well. Come on. Thank you. At least someone thinks I'm talking facts. Rest in peace to Chig. Big up Kabir. Exactly, mate. We've got the lovely, the gorgeous Joanne Smith in the chat. Hope you well, Joanne. Hope you well. 22 likes, minimum 50. Come on, please, guys. Thank you very much. Pepsi Pack, nationality racism too. I overheard an old person called someone a Polish bastard in Sainsbury's the other week. Pepsi, let me tell you something now, mate. This goes on everywhere. Yeah? I mean, I'm just talking about football tonight. I hear it all the time. I hear certain things where people mutter something under their breath. If I'm driving and someone tries to, cut in or whatever, or just say something happens and like they're mouthing something to me, I can lip read. I know exactly what they're saying. the first thing they say is the first thing they see, right? I see it. Yeah, it happens everywhere, mate. Everywhere. Could be in Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Aldi, Lidl. It happens everywhere. Yeah. People think this is gone. And I'll tell you something, it's so rife. Racism. It is. Anyone who disagrees with that, I'm sorry, you're living in cuckoo land. It is. It's more hidden. That's the real crux of it, right? It's more hidden. Yeah? More hidden. Trust me. Don Carlo, bunch of cowards, these racist pricks. Ain't got the bollocks to say it to a man's face, but behind a screen and in a group, they think they are all that. Could not agree with you anymore, mate. Facts. Exactly. And we see it all the time, don't we? We see it on here. We see it on it. We see it on YouTube. We see it on Insta. We see it on all the social media platforms, right? And it's always someone who doesn't have a picture of themselves, yeah? And they're just going off on one, right? And do you know what? When I say the media have got such a big part to play in this, I genuinely believe it. I said to you guys before, this whole thing with Meghan Markle, right? Do you know what really, really baffled me and it annoyed me? It didn't even upset me. It more annoyed me, right? When I'm seeing all the cameras on Meghan. And in my honest opinion, this is where I lose a lot of people because there's a lot of people who don't agree with me on this, right? But whatever Meghan is, whether she's a nice girl, whether she's a wrong one, whether she's not, whatever, yeah? I honestly, hand on heart, guys, hand on heart, do believe that she was targeted as soon as she landed here. I honestly believe a lot of the hatred towards Meghan is because she is a woman of color. I really do believe that. I genuinely believe it, right? And the one thing that really baffled me and angered me the most is you seeing all these cameras on Meghan, all the hatred and all the attention is going towards Meghan. And yet, 10 yards behind her is Prince Andrew, the paedophile. And yet nothing is said or directed towards Andrew. It's all Meghan. So the fact that this woman is a woman of colour, right, and she's taken mummy's boy away from the royal family, that takes precedence over this guy who was a regular at Epstein's Island, who is a known paedophile, who is an absolute wrong'un, who sleeps with underage girls, who is involved in trafficking. All of that gets ignored because all we want to do is focus on Meghan. Wow. Really? Yeah? And you mean to tell me, guys, me saying all of that to you, you mean to tell me the media have no agenda, no narrative at all? Come on. Use this. Use your loaf. Come on, it's there. It's plain for all to see. Early Doors Football World TV. Come on, Tone. Diesel, I will mention this on my show tonight. I think it's good to make it vocal and get the message out there. Listen, guys, I'm not stupid. I know I'm doing a stream like this. It's either it's going to go one way or the other. People are going to watch it and thinking, do you know what? I liked Diesel. I thought he was right, but tonight he's gone too over the line. Sod him. Can't watch him. Unsubscribe. Yeah? There is a risk in it. I knew doing a stream like this is not going to get me thousands of views. It's not about that. It's not about that, guys. Integrity for me is a must. Integrity, yeah? Integrity and dignity overcome everything else for me, right? This happened yesterday. It is a big incident. I guarantee you now, and Tone, back me up. If this was a West Ham player, every West Ham channel would be talking about it. If it was an Arsenal player, every Arsenal channel would be talking about it. Because it's not one of our players, let's just ignore it. No, why? Why? Why not talk about it? Why not address the issue? Why not raise awareness? Why? Yeah? That mentality, it just bugs me. Daniel Carty, big up, bro. Good show. Thank you, Dan. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. AFC always. Come on, Diesel, big up. If I could change one thing in football, it's racism. Do you know what, guys? All this keep going on. I just think, for a player to enter onto a football pitch in front of thousands of fans, right, and be subjected to those monkey chants and having bananas thrown at them, I just think it's disgusting. And even with, I was saying this to my mate John earlier on, when Sancho, Rashford and Saka, like when they missed the penalties. As a man of colour, I'm watching that and I'm like this because I knew what was coming. I just knew. Anyhow, one of these black players miss a penalty, within seconds, you go onto Twitter or Insta or any of those platforms, in a matter of seconds, what's coming. What's coming. And by God, did these three get it? They honestly, for missing a penalty, did they mean to miss? Did they miss on purpose? No. And there's part of me, guys, that thinks to myself, when you suffer with that amount of racial prejudice, all because you missed a penalty, there is part of me, and I'm being totally honest here with you people. I'm being totally honest here when I say this. There is a part of me that thinks to myself, if it were me, I couldn't play for the country again. I would refuse. I would. Because I don't know. For me, it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing. When I'm playing well and I'm scoring goals, yeah, you all love me. And I know it's not, I say you all, it is a minority. I get, but I tell you something, it was a big minority though. It was a big one. We're not talking about 10, 15 people here. It was a lot. Yeah. And there's part of me thinking, do you know what? I don't need this. I don't need this. So all it takes is for me to miss a penalty and the love can go to hate like that in a heartbeat. Nah, drop me out. Drop me out. Pepsi Pack saw the upload on YouTube by BBC Archive on John Barnes last week when Watford signed him. Yeah, listen, John Barnes, absolute. No, he's not for me. Not for me. Sorry. Stephen Baverstock, facts, Diesel. Come on, Static. It's been nothing but facts from you from start to finish, Diesel. Come on, facts. Big up Diesel in the chat, Mike England. Big up yourself, Mike. Liverpool are 3-0 up, by the way, people. I think they're away to Bournemouth, if I remember rightly. Diesel, I love the new background too. Very nice. Yep, I stumbled upon it, so I thought I'd try it. Thank you very much, though, guys. I wanted something different. Do you know what I mean? Lenny Moon, AFTV only care about making money and getting into press conferences. There's no standards there. Fact. And do you know what? Didn't Robbie do one about racism when it involved him, his people? Yeah. Will they do one about this? Probably not. Only when it suits, yeah? Okay, cool. Only when it suits. Only when it involves yours. Anyone else? Okay. I'll leave it there. Static, integrity, dignity, genuine, authentic. That's you, Diesel Bro. Static, that is why I love you, my man. Come on. That is why. Do you know what? I had a break from YouTube, but I just couldn't stay away. And Static was one of them. Static, you was one of the few people who kept messaging me and saying, listen, we need you. We need you. Too many dickheads on here. We need you, bro. We need someone who's got a bit of sense, who's not afraid, right, to speak the truth and spit the facts, right? We are surrounded by these crocodiles and snakes and these lizards and all these absolute fools, right? And I listened to you, mate, and I came back. Thank you very much. I definitely would retire immediately after the final if it was me. Do you know what? I'd go. I would. I'm sorry. Make a stand, because I'll tell you something now. Obviously, Raheem, I don't think Raheem will ever play for England again. Something's gone on between him and Southgate there. But at the time, guys, at the time, if Raheem Sterling had decided to walk off the pitch, England would have had to have acted. They would have had to, because we are talking about a high-profile player here. That would have made the news around the world. And very much like Vinicius, like when you look at what Vinicius did, it made waves, absolute waves through the media, through the football world, to a point where everyone's eyes were on the Spanish FA. They couldn't sit on that. They couldn't. They had to act. They had to. Right? The whole world is watching now. Right? And it would have been a similar effect with a lot of these England players, but they choose not to. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how no one in their family puts them straight, you know, of the older generation, puts them straight and says, listen, they do that again. Walk! Gone! Me gone! Yeah? I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. We got CMO Sports, Conrad. Big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Big up Diesel, bro. This is a matter that always needs to be talked about. Such a shame some people always have to ruin the beautiful game. Absolute facts. And I'll tell you something, right? It's okay doing streams about mental health and well-being and this and that, the other. That's cool. That's fine. Why does no one talk about this then? Because I notice a lot of channels, right? They don't really, they stay away. They stay away from this topic. They can talk all day long about mental health and trolling and this, that, the other. Why not talk about this? Is it because it don't affect you? Is it because you're white and this is what? This is black prejudice? What is it? What is it? Seriously, what is it? Yes, we all know someone who's suffering from a bit of mental health. Yes, we all know someone who's been trolled. Cool. Is that because it directly impacts us? That's why we talk about it, because we know someone who's going through it. Okay, cool. But we don't know anyone who's gone through racism. Is that why we don't talk about racism? Eh? The two are linked. If you're going to talk about one, how about you talk about the other? Because the two of them together, the two of them are very, very big, important topics. And the two of them are absolutely in need of discussion. Let's have it right. It is. Both of them. Yeah? Absolutely both of them. Right? When we did Claude and the Bounsters, right, one of the things, yeah, that myself, young Terence, and Claude did, if you guys can remember, right, we did a mental health, and we had a stage where we had someone come on and discuss, right, and we tried to, and like for this channel, when I first started it, I tried to find someone who could just maybe do a once a week thing, not just anyone, someone who was qualified, yeah, right. Because it is, you know, so don't think I'm brushing it under the carpet, because I'm one of the very few on here who actually talk about topics like this, yeah, and have an open discussion with you guys. I don't shy away from nothing. I'm not media trained. I don't put fancy words on it. I talk. This is how I talk. This is me, right? And I think you guys would appreciate that more than me getting some twat on here, right, who talks in fancy words and lingo that you guys don't understand, and who's blatantly media trained. Sod that. I'm not into that. A lot of these pundits are like that. Do you know what? The only channel, right, who dared discuss that incident yesterday with AC Milan was ESPN. TalkSport have not done anything on this. Nothing. ESPN did a 3.5-minute video on it where they had Kieran Gibbs on it, yeah? And Kieran Gibbs, anyone who's not watched this absolute dickhead, right? Kieran Gibbs, how that man is a pundit, I will never, ever know. I thought Martin Keown was bad. This guy, just watch it. I'm telling you now, he chats so much fart. It's an absolute joke. And again, see how I'm getting, because it riles me when we're in 2024, we still got to talk about stuff, nonsense like this. Yeah, and yet when Kieran Gibbs is asked about it, bear in mind, Kieran Gibbs is the same colour as me. He's a man of colour, mixed race guy. Yeah, so empathetic and, oh, well, maybe they should have a harsher punishment. What do you mean maybe, Kieran? What do you mean maybe? Maybe what? Come out and say what you really think. Come out and say what you really believe. You absolute idiot. Yeah? Snake. I can't stand these people, honestly. Because if we do want to go back into history and our ancestors and stuff and what the crap that they went through, they didn't go through all of that. So that years later, someone in you know in their you know their bloodline as a Kieran Gibbs can come on a TV and talk fart? No, no, sorry, disrespect. Come out and say what you really think. You are a man of color, bruv. This should touch you. This should touch you. All this stuff, it certainly touches me. Yeah. But yet this guy, and this is what I'm saying, guys, when I talk about media trains and all these pundits, not all of them, the majority of them, just I can't listen to them. That is why, right? So many more people now gravitate more to fan channels. That is why fan channels are getting more of a voice. And the one thing, yeah, that I watched with Robbie and Simon Jordan, yeah, and this is the one thing I will credit Robbie for, because I thought he was bang on in that. Fan channels are a disruption, and that's a fact. That they don't like it, right? I see that that goalkeeper, is it Ben Foster, whatever his name is, now got his own channel, and who's the player at Chelsea? It's John Obi Mikel. I think he's got. It's no coincidence now these ex-players are now starting to get their own channels. Why? Because you didn't believe in it before, yeah. When a lot of the these fan channels started up, these players were caning them, coating them off. Now look, because they can see how popular it's getting, yeah. Now there's more people now gravitating over to this side, yeah. Why? Yeah, certain channels get more views than TalkSport. TalkSport's massive. TalkSport's, I mean, the coverage is absolutely massive, right? But why? Because people are waking up and they're sick and tired of listening to a same robot voice saying the same robot things and all of that. People want authenticity. People want to watch something and believe it. You know what I mean? And this is why, you know, fan channels are on the rise. They are. Because when you speak to fans after the games, you are going to get a better view of the game, a better opinion, because it's coming from a fan who's speaking with emotion, a fan who's invested in the game, right? Not these pundits who read off a script. And let's be honest, that's what they do, right? This is why I refuse to watch AFTV, a disgraceful channel supposed to be for the fans, rubbish, and the way they've dealt with things is disgusting. Let me tell you something now. You get 60,000, right, fans at the average Arsenal home game. For the fans, by the fans, why is it always the same people? Can you answer me that? Why is it always the same people? Yeah, 60,000 to say what? 3,000 of that is the opposition. 55,000 Arsenal fans, and yet you had the same 7-8 people. I'm sorry, I don't get that. I just don't get it. Lenny Moon, Southgate was a spineless player and has continued that into management. Yeah, don't rate him one little bit, mate. No backbone, this guy. You look at him, he probably jump out of the way. Nah. Can't be as bad as Tim Sherwood. Yeah, he's another one. Kieran Gibbs, I've lost all respect for him now. Don't take my word for it, Static. Watch it. He was on, I think it was earlier on today, where they did a 3.5-minute ESPN UK, I think it is. No, ESPN FC. I think that's what it is. Yeah, he's on there. Just watch. Guy's an absolute idiot. You could just tell he's reading off a script. He ain't got a clue what he's talking about. Static, 33 likes and subscribe. Unveiling Realities. Waz up, my guy, my mate. Thank you very much. Fair play to you, Diesel, for raising this issue. It makes me so angry. It disgusts me and it saddens me. Now, look, I'm saying all of this. This is just my opinions. This is what I believe. So, obviously, I've got a platform. I'm going to try and use it for good. As well as talking about football, I want to talk about stuff like this and, you know, stuff what's going on in the world today, right? And, you know, and that was a big incident that happened yesterday. And also the incident, you know, in that Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry game, right? When, the black player, Casey Palmer, I believe his name is, he ran over to the touchline to grab the ball and you could see 4 or 5, it may even have been more, that's all I saw, doing the old monkey chants, right? And then you see him informing the ref of what he's just heard and what's been done. But what happened with that? Where does that go? You know, like when you hear these statements from these clubs, we strongly condone any type of racial abuse. Please be advised, we will be looking into this with the utmost urgency, and we will perpetrate the whatever it is. You read that and you think, oh, cool. Yeah. All right. The club's looking into it. Lovely. Yeah. Hundreds of cameras in that stadium. It can't take them too long to find out who the culprits are. What happens after that? So we hear the statement from the club, and then all of a sudden you don't hear nothing else. It all goes away. Right. At the very least, the club will get a fine. And even then, what's the fine? What, £20,000? If that, £10,000? The international, the countries were getting a £20,000 fine. I mean, seriously, what is that? Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. How about this? How about start deducting points? Yeah, see how quick that will eradicate. Deduct points then. Yeah, because if you deduct points from the club, it hurts the fans as well. They feel it. Because I'll tell you something now, these clubs who are paying these £10,000 fines, £20,000 fines, the club's paying it. They ain't coming out of the fans' pocket. The club is paying that, not the fans. The fans don't feel no pain. Yeah? At the very least, not at the very most, the very least, how about you deduct points then? Deduct points. Go on. Yeah? But no, you won't, because we don't take this sort of stuff seriously. And that is what pisses me off. That is what pisses me off. We in 2024? Yeah? And even then, suicide rates. Yeah, you want to talk about, you guys want to talk about mental health and racism? Okay, let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about suicides. How many suicides have we seen on social media? How many? The Caroline Flax, you know, the Muggy Mike, the Love Island guy, you know, all these, right? How many more have we got to see until they start putting proper procedure in place? Yeah, where you have to have photo ID, proof of address. If you can't provide these things, you do not get to open an account. Yeah? Right? Your passport, your driving license, whatever it is. Give us these things, you can have an account. If you haven't got those, you will not get an account. Why? We have the technology to do it. So my question to you people is, why don't they? Why don't they? Honestly, simple question. Why don't they? Yeah? I said to you guys before, we are living in that world now where it's becoming all the more soft. Yeah? And people are not cut from the same cloth as they was years ago. Right? A lot more people are emotional now and can't take criticism and can't take abuse and the trolling and the whatever it is. They can't. And when you've got certain people who are constantly being bashed online, that's why suicide rates are at an all-time high. And a lot of that is because of abuse that they got from social media. So my question is, now we've got so many cases, so many examples of where that's been the case. Why don't we change the system? Why don't we put a proper procedure in place to eradicate this and get it out and try and bring that suicide rate down? Why don't we? Why? How many times have people been calling for this and yet they still don't do it? Why? Why? How many more people have got to kill themselves until they finally start to listen? Right? Stephen Baverstock, bang on Diesel. I was going to say the same thing. It should be different people. Just pick random people. Facts. I must say this, bro. I can speak out now. I'm an outgoing person. I still get racism right now almost every day. See, do you see what I mean? Yeah, Static is a lovely guy, yeah. But you know what? Because of how he looks, and I've seen your picture, bruv. You like me, man of color, yeah. And you still get it. We're in 2024, and you still get it, really. And yet, some people will watch this now and condemn me for how dare I speak out about this? Why? How about you find your bollocks and you speak out about it as well on your channel, eh? How about that? How about that? Yeah. And when I say that, I'm talking to everyone. Every single one, whether I like you, I've been on a stream with you, whatever. Yeah, I really do take this serious, guys. I'm not messing about, right? Doing a stream like this, I do take it seriously because I've experienced it. Static, same as you. I've had it, mate. I've had it. Trust, and it ain't nice. And I am a nice bloke, yeah. and people will judge you for how you look, right? For the color of your skin, right? Without knowing the man. Yeah, that ain't nice. I go into a pub I've never been in, the looks I get. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I've had it, static. Trust me, I won't go into too much depth, but I've had it. Yeah, and I'll tell you something now, it ain't nice. Yeah, and we all know people who've probably experienced it or gone through it or going through it. We don't know. Yeah, but you know what? Certain things you just need to talk about, and hopefully you get one person who watches this and thinks, you know what? Bit of education wouldn't go amiss, right? These are it's not the usual verbal abuse I always get. It would be looks, whispers, subtle racism, systemic and institutional racism. All of these do exist, mate. I see it every day. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. 34 likes and subscribe. Right, okay. Let's look. I don't want to sort of bang the drum too much on that. I think I've banged it enough. Let's talk about the other elephant in the room very quickly, because I'm not going to stand here for too long. Pepsi Pack winning 5-0 yesterday doesn't help because Arteta will believe we don't need a striker. It's funny. Do you know what? There's this guy who messages me, right? He always leaves a comment. Whenever Arsenal win, Diesel, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Right? And I personally believe it's someone I know. I've just got a feeling, right? But I don't know. I can't prove it. So yeah, Arsenal won, and let's talk about it very quickly. Now, look, at the start of the stream, I said to you guys, the Flat Track Bullies actually won a game, right? And that is what I liken our club to, because for me, Arsenal are what they are. They're Flat Track Bullies, right? We won 5-0 yesterday. Was it a great game? No. Did I watch it? Yes. Gabriel, 2 goals, fair play. Well, say 2 goals. I think the other one was a known goal, wasn't it? But for me, I thought it was his. I didn't think Declan Rice had a great game, but he usually does. So, you know, I'll allow him. But I'll tell you the one thing I will say, though, guys. Talking about what you just said there, Pepsi, about a striker, right? Yeah. Gabriel Jesus played yesterday. Arsenal score 5 goals at home against a dreadful side. And Jesus didn't get any of them. Now, if that isn't a big enough clue, shall we say, that we need to get a striker, I don't know what is. I really don't. Obviously, the usual narrative is going to be, well, you know, the warm weather training in Dubai was obviously, as you can see, it did the trick. You know, we saw it yesterday. Absolute masterstroke by Michelle and the club to take the players out there. The truth of the matter is, guys, we played a very poor side. Look, we've been on a very poor run, right? And I'll tell you something now. If someone said, if a genie come out of the bottle and said to Arsenal, look, you've been on a bad run, you've got a couple of weeks off, you're going to go to Dubai for warm weather training. What we're going to do, we're going to throw you a bone, right? When you come back, your first game will be at home to Crystal Palace. I'm telling you now, Arsenal would have been like, oh, lovely, I'll take that. I'll take that. Because it's Palace. With all due respect, they're shit. Let's be honest, right? Yes, we scored 5 goals. Yes. Oh, Diesel, why can't you just be happy that we won the game? We scored 5 goals. Every game's hard. There's no easy games. True to an extent. Yes, because I've said that on this stream. Of course, there are no easy games. But let's have it right. Palace. I mean, yesterday, if you look at it, Palace are absolutely dreadful. They down tools after what we put, you know, after we scored the second goal. Their heads weren't in it. They relied too much on Eze. Yeah. He tried, but he can't do it on his own. And I'll tell you something, they were absolutely dreadful. And if Arsenal fans want to get excited after this one game, then, well, prepare to be in for a shock, because Do that against Liverpool, Arsenal. If you're that good and you believe your hype and you believe, but you believe that you're back. We're back. Do it again. Yeah. Let's go on a run then. Do they really want to win this league? I don't think so. Yeah. All this nonsense I'm hearing about fair play and we've got no money and all this rubbish, right? There are players there who we can sell. Yeah. If you got to sell a couple of players to get that one in, do it. Yeah. Now we talk about Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, yet again, has come out and flirted with the big clubs, flirted with a big move away, right? Flirted with the idea of, oh, yeah, it could be the summer, but it could also be this month, right? Now, everyone can say, Brentford are in a bit of trouble, Brentford won't sell, You put the money down, trust me, they will. Because if you put the money down, and along with that, coupled with that, you've got the player's agent putting his pressure on. Trust me, Ivan Toney's leaving that club. Yeah, he's leaving. He wants to go. Everyone knows the score here. Everyone knows the score, right? He wants to come to us. I personally, do you know what? I always had and I've said this to you guys before, I've always had a sneaking feeling that we will get him. However, I've got a really bad feeling he's going to go Chelsea, I just don't see Arsenal moving in quick enough. I just don't see it. I think what's going to hold us back is this crap about fair play and the money and this, that, the other. I think Brentford are going to ask for a certain price. Fair play to them, I would. Yeah, I would. And I think Arsenal are going to shy away. And yet again, Arsenal are going to try and find a cheaper option. I genuinely believe that. Chelsea will just pay the money. They will just pay the money. I might be wrong. But look, you have to... Arsenal have a habit of doing this, and you get some Arsenal fans who hear me say that and think like the negative accusation thrown at you and what do you know? And I'm going on what Arsenal do. This is what we do. Arsenal dilly-dally in the transfer market. They do. It's clear as day to see that we need a striker. We need a gunman up front, right? Clear as day. To be honest, guys, that was as clear as day last season. And yet, what have they done to address it? Nothing, right? Gabriel Jesus ain't the answer. Yeah, and I've even said, for me, get a striker. For me, I would get two strikers. I think Arsenal need two. And I would use Jesus as cover for Saka on the right wing. That's what I would do. Because he don't want to play up front. He's come out and he said it. He's not lethal enough. If you want to win the big titles, the big trophies, you need a damn sight more than Jesus. And Arsenal don't appear to want it. Warren's team talk, that guy's a message. Yeah, do you know what? It probably is. Probably is. Pietar Jablanowski, big up, Diesel. Hope you're well, Pietar. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Lenny Moon, maybe owners don't want to give Michelle any more money. He already received another man's meat. Facts. Exactly. But, Lenny, you know what, mate? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I just don't know. I think I just don't get it. I just don't get what Arsenal want to do. In fact, what am I talking about? I do get it. I told you guys this last week. Arsenal just have this top four mentality, and they've had it seeped into them from the Arsene Wenger days. That is what they want. If we're being honest, as long as they secure top four, I personally genuinely believe that they're happy. That's all they want. If they get anything more, it's a bonus. Other than that, it's top four. And I think a lot of the fans believe that as well. It's just top four. Yeah. It's all about the turnover. It's all about the Champions League money. That's all it is. And I think because of that. You see, Michelle will look at it and think, look, Jesus, I've got Jesus here. He doesn't really bag goals, but for what we want, which is really top four, he'll do. Right? Let's be fair. Arsenal will, most likely get to, top four this season. Most likely. Will they win the league? Hell no. Right? Hell no. Even when you look at Aston Villa, I mean, Aston Villa got Watkins up there. Yeah. Man City, Haaland. Liverpool, Salah. I mean, they got, if he's not on it, they got Jota. Nunez, I don't rate at all, if I'm honest. But they have got goals up there, right? Gakpo, he's another one I'm not really sold on, but, he can nick a couple of goals for you. But Salah's the gunman. Haaland's the gunman for City. Ollie Watkins gets his fair share of goals. Arsenal have been linked with Isaac at Newcastle, who I do rate, actually. I think I do like him. Will we get him? Probably not. Probably because of the money. Arsenal have got the money, though. This is the mad thing. They've got the money. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Arsenal have got probably the best finance whiz kids working at that club. You're telling me they can't get around FFP? And when I say get around, I'm on about surely Michelle surely must be looking at that squad thinking, do you know what? For me to just say, for example, for me to get Ivan Toney in, right? He's got to sell, maybe even if he's got to sell to buy, there are players there you can sell, right? Then you'll get the typical Arsenal fan who will say, yeah, but Deez, who wants them? Come on. Hang on a minute. And this is the argument I always used to have with people, right? You telling me, like, for example, let's just say Cedric, because he's still there, right? You're telling me you can't find a club, you can't find one club in world football to pay a couple of million for him. You can't find one, not one. Not one. There are players worse than Cedric, worse than him, who get sold for more. Like, I'm sorry. That shows me that there is an issue at this club, right? Whether they don't have the right personnel, they certainly don't have the best in class. Yeah? He's not good enough for Arsenal, but he will be good enough for someone. You're telling me what? You can't find a club to come and buy him? I'm not on about for like big money. Yeah, but something. So I guarantee he'll walk out for free. And this is the thing. Yeah. But Arsenal need to sell. They need to sell. Smith Rowe, I like Smith Rowe, but I'm not into this sentiment crap, right? He can't complete 90 minutes for us week in, week out, I believe. I genuinely believe he has a fitness issue. I don't know what it is, but he does, right? Sod the sentiment. Sell Smith Rowe. So I'll tell you something now. You won't be short of a few clubs who are after him. Sell him. Raise a bit of dough. Get him off the wage bill, right? Cedric, sell him. Get something for him. Yeah? Who else? Partey. They don't want to... I personally believe they were trying to sell Partey last season, like in the summer. Something's gone on there. Something has definitely gone on there between... I refuse to believe he's been injured for this amount of time. Something has gone on. I would bring Kieran Tierney back. Fabio Vieira, get rid. He ain't good enough. When you go through the team, look, El Nenny's another one. When you go through the team, Reece Nelson, I mean, these are players that are just coming to me, right? There are players we can sell. If we've got to sell a couple of our players in order to get that big one over there, then for me, what are you waiting for? Go and do it. Go and do it. But Arsenal won't, guys, because they don't want it. They haven't got the mentality. They're not winners. They're not hungry enough to think, do you know what? We like Smith Rowe. I like him. But do you know what? Let's be honest. For his sake and our sake, let's just sell him. Let's sell him. He's never going to get a game here. He's too good, really, to sit on the bench. For me, I think Smith Rowe's got potential. I really do. But he's not going to realise that potential here. He's not. And like I said to you guys last week, for his sake and ours, I think he needs to go. And I've heard whispers that West Ham are in for him, or West Ham are keen on him. They like him. I can't see why you don't try and strike up a deal. Why not? Or even go to Brentford. Eddie Nketiah, again, another one, right? You're telling me Brentford are going to say no to a bit of money plus Smith Rowe and Eddie Nketiah? So they're getting money. They're getting two players. They're getting Nketiah and Smith Rowe. And on top of that, they're getting a bit of dough. They're not saying no to that. You know, it's all these things. There are always ways around it, right? But they don't want it, guys. This is how I know we won't win the league. So I find it very hard to get excited about what I saw yesterday. I do. I'm sorry. I do. I'm one of them people. You know, I'm very staunch like that. Yeah. I know the big trophies aren't coming under this manager, Michelle. So why would I get excited over us beating an absolutely piss poor Palace side? Yeah, they were crap. Anyone who watched that game yesterday, these guys were absolutely rubbish. Yeah, what Roy Hodgson is still doing there, I don't know. I mean, seriously, Roy Hodgson, this is the man who used to go to work on horse and cart. He is so bloody old, right? He needs to go. Arsenal won't pay what he is asking. Facts. FFP is killing the transfer window. Come on. Ali Bernard, come on, my guy. Bless up these. 37 likes, static. Come on. Static. The Diesel, the performance was awful yesterday. Well done, Arsenal. A great win, but performances must be better. I cannot believe Jesus didn't score. You're our striker. You're playing at home, right? A home game. We win 5-0. You don't score. What? Sorry. For me, nah. Financial fair play, 38 likes. Come on, the likes are going up. Pepsi Pack, he's another one. Havertz. Let's just give up the ghost, right? Let's give up the ghost, Michelle. It didn't work. It's obvious. We can all see it. But he's a very stubborn woman. And, he'll just keep getting picked and picked and picked because just to prove a point. Isn't it mad how a lot of not all of them, obviously, but a lot of the Arsenal fans, how the standards have sunk so much to a point of Havertz can do nothing in the game, but if he pops up and scores a goal, automatically it's like it's a hero's welcome, isn't it? It's the stadium, the stadium goes mad, it goes wild, and everyone talks about, he had a great game, he was really instrumental today, and this, that, the other. When you think, hang on a minute, he did nothing all game. Yes, he got a goal. He scored a tap in. That don't let that sway you from. Do you know what I mean? It just makes you laugh. He still had a poor game. He could have got 2 tap ins. It doesn't matter. It's what you do in 90 minutes of football, and he had a very poor game. To me, he just looks lost. He looks lost. He looks like a player. If I was still playing and I was coming up against Havertz, I'm looking at him thinking, my God, I've got that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Trust me, I'm going to mash this geezer up. I'm telling you now. Honestly, after today, he's going to be scared of his own shadow. That is what I see when I look at Havertz. I see a little boy lost, yeah, who hasn't got the minerals, right? The minerals, yeah, to play for this team or to play in this league. That's what I see when I see him. Diesel, I saw the excuses. Arsenal are back. Don't hate King Arteta. It's 2 wins out of 8 games in all competitions. Calm down. Arsenal must keep winning. No more excuses. Yeah, facts. This is what I'm saying. Everyone gets excited over Palace. So listen, we've got some tough games coming up. Let's see what they do. I know what they're going to do. I know how it's going to pan out. So, yeah, I can't help it. It's just me. David, I've got a scoot, guys. Have a great evening. Dave, thank you very much, mate. And once again, thank you for your contribution. Love you, mate. Love you. One of the original OGs. My guy, come on. On that note, I'm probably going to shoot as well, guys. Look, 1 hour and 44 minutes. Honestly, my back is in pain. I went to the gym I went to the gym the other day. That was fine. You know what it is? When you're in bed, right, and you're watching telly, and I've got like, I'm sleeping on like 4 pillows, yeah, and I must have fallen asleep, and I've fallen asleep in a really awkward position, right? When I woke up, it's like the spine. Oh my God, I was in agony. You know, when you just cannot get up, and when you eventually do get up, you just feel it. It's just going all the way down your back. Yeah, I think it's because I slept on too many pillows. So, you know, like when your body's sort of out of sync. And I'll tell you something, it is absolutely aching, yeah? Well, you know, when someone calls you, I'm like, I'm having to slowly turn like that. Oh, mate, God, not feel it at all. Oh, lot of mercy. Right, let's just get through these last few. Diesel, we probably won't sign a player. 1 or 2 would be extremely lucky, I think. I don't think we're going to sign anyone, mate, if I'm honest with you. I keep hearing about this FFP, you know, and I think a lot of clubs are shook now because of what's happening with Everton and was it Wolves? Who was it? Who was the other one? It was Wolves, wasn't it? Yeah, let's see what's... No, it was Forest, wasn't it? Sorry, not Wolves. It was Forest. I'm sure it was Forest. They're seeing what's happening with these guys, and it's like, you know what? I think clubs have probably, you know, had their own way and obviously taken shortcuts over the past several seasons. And I think it's only now, really, when you look at what's happening with Everton and Forest, you're looking at it and you're thinking, I think a lot of clubs are now thinking, oh, hang on, let's just hold back a little bit. Whoa. You know, and I think they're now starting to take action with regards to financial fair play. But like I say, we have got players to sell, you know. So if it is a case of raising funds, even though Arsenal have got the money, but, you know, if we go with like their narrative, like, you know, just for a minute, they've got players to sell, right? Which would free up space in the squad, which will allow them money to go and make that signing to make the difference for us in the second half of this season. Go and win the title. Simple. But they won't. And what I love about me and what I love about my channel and the people within my channel is we all know it, don't we? And on that note, I'm going to go. Diesel, well done tonight, bro. Excellent work. Thank you very much, mate. Diesel, thanks to sleep awkwardly after a workout. Damn, it's painful, mate. I'm telling you now. I'm going to have a right look. Oh, it just kills. Aching. And yeah, it was Forest, wasn't it? Lovely. Guys, thank you very much. Look, still 32 people watching. Oh, my God, I love you guys so much. Listen, guys, on a serious one. Take what I've said in. Take in what I've said tonight, right? Please. Yeah, we can't have this. Live and let live. Yeah? There's good and bad in everyone. There's good and bad in every color, every creed, every race, every religion. You name it, there is good and bad in everyone and everything. Yeah? I'll leave you guys on that. All right? So just please. Yeah, preach. And guys, you guys have got your kids as well. I'm sure you are already, but oh my God, we can't have this carry on in their generation. So seriously, come on. You know, we'll bleed the same, we're all born the same, we all shit the same. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Come on. You know, that's all I can say. Because it's just not right. It's not right. You know, and it's disgusting and it can't go on. Anyway. No to racism, Static. Yet we'll end it on that. Thank you very much. Great show. Tone, thank you very much, mate. Top man. Lovely. And thank you for coming. Take care, everyone. Like and subscribe. I'm going to play my intro, right? Because I know you love it so much. Anyway, so I said it really softly, like oh, so sweet. I've got a voice for a radio, quite a sexy voice, isn't it? Take care, everyone. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Big up yourselves. Laters. Bye. Well. Guess who it is? Diesel's back. Join me, subscribe, but get the word out. Diesel's back, and he ain't going nowhere.